What up, my friends? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we have a BJs haul for you. This was my second to last grocery purchase in the month of June. In case this is your first time to one of my videos, it's my husband and myself, as well as 3 toddlers. We have a 3.5-year-old and then 2.5-year-old twins, all boys, all mini Gastons that eat through a lot of eggs. So you will pretty much always see eggs in grocery hauls of ours. Today, I'm gonna show off exactly how I spent less than $100 at BJ's and what it got me. We even have a little fun today, and I finally make a viral recipe that has been on my radar forever, and my husband joins at the end so we can do a taste test and tell you whether or not it's worth making it. I will share all of the grocery prices on the screen for you, but I am located in the Jacksonville, Florida area, so just keep that in mind for your own grocery planning. If this is your first time with me, hi, how are you? How's the family? Thank you so much for clicking on that thumbnail and giving me a chance. On this channel, I do a lot of haul videos, and I also do a lot of recipe inspiration. So if you struggle with what to get on the table, I have you covered, and you can check out the rest of my channel. If you enjoy the vibe, I'd love it if you'd subscribe. It means the absolute world to me. Without further ado, let's dive in the haul, and be sure to stick around for the recipe and taste test. All right, my friends, we have another BJ's haul, and again, we were under budget. I'm trying to accommodate for the fact that I did shop at Thrive Market this week. So I'm trying to do a total of $500 in the month of June, and Thrive was around like $49, I want to say, something like that. So I'm kind of having to do like weird adjustments to hit my goal, but that was a lot for you guys to know. But let's check out what we grabbed at BJ's. So first up, I grabbed some of this tortelloni, and we're going to use this in a recipe in today's video. So if you need a quick weeknight meal idea, I've got your back. Stay tuned after this. I also grabbed another huge watermelon. This has been a hit with the kids, and it's such a good price, and you get such a high volume amount. So what I usually do is like about half goes to the kids for the week. The other half I've been juicing, and watermelon is great for like hydration. It's like natural electrolytes, I believe, if you believe the things that the internet has to say. So between the juicing and the kids, watermelons have been a great value for the price. Over here, I grabbed a 6-pack of pasta because my kids, we have discovered, love penne. And this one has penne and I think rotini in it. It's so funny though, all of the boxes up top say penne, even though out here it says rotini. But they do love penne, so if it ends up being 6 boxes of penne, that's going to be totally fine. So the ones that we have left over in the pantry are kind of stuff they don't really like. So I did use some of the budget this week for pasta. Over here, I grabbed a thing of limes. Been obsessed with these for juicing. Watermelon and lime together, it's a vibe, you guys. So been putting those together. And then also I've been using limes a lot in cooking lately. I also grabbed another bag of sweet potatoes. We've been cooking those a lot lately for both us and the kids. Over here, I grabbed some romaine. We keep a salad bar in our fridge at all times for fast lunches, quick dinners, and we needed to refill, so grabbed that. I also decided our vegetable this week, because I always try to grab like one vegetable to be like fresh with dinners. We're gonna go with zucchini and squash. So this is like a mixture of both of them. And this was a really great price for the amount that you get. So I'm excited there. These are great for like sheet pan meals or a quick air fryer lunch for me. Grabbed a huge bag of kale. That can be for juicing, but I'm also gonna use it probably in the recipe over here. Sometimes I just throw it in salads too to get some extra iron and things like that. Got some emotional support bananas. You guys know, it's always in a grocery haul over here. And then I grabbed a big thing of celery. We like to use this in juicing. And I have been snacking with it lately because I've been making like this really good tuna dip. I've been mixing tuna with cream cheese and a little bit of relish. And I know that kind of sounds crazy, but I'm telling you guys, it's really good. And I've been using celery to dip in it. Our kids are obsessed with these little cutie mandarins, so I always grab those. I also got some strawberries between me and the kiddos. We love those. Cucumbers, love these for snacking, but also I just toss them in juices as well. In the back, we already cracked into one of these. We got a 3-pack of 1.5 gallons of the Wellesley Farms 2% organic milk. Those are mostly for the kids, but I use it in my coffee sometimes in the morning. 36 count of eggs. We pretty much go through this per week. That seems a little excessive, but it is what it is. Between the baking and breakfast for 5 people, I don't know, I guess it's not that bad. Plus, it's a healthy source of protein, so we're good. I grabbed a big block of yellow sharp cheddar cheese. I usually like take like a third of it to chop up for snacking, and then the rest of it we shred up using a grater to use in various recipes. Also grabbed some sliced cheese. This was on sale. I usually grab the deli version, but this pre-packaged one was on sale this week, so I sprung for it. And then for our fun recipe, we're gonna be using one of these guys, and the other I'll probably use for snacking. So that is everything I grabbed at BJ's. I'm going to dive into the recipe. I love me a one-pan wonder, and this viral recipe is exactly that. It was so simple to throw together, and at the end, my husband will jump in and we'll share our honest feedback on this viral dinner recipe. I have the full recipe in the description box exactly the way I did it, but basically I started by spraying a 9x13 baking dish and simply tossing a package of tortellini in it. I then chopped up some cherry tomatoes in half and spread those throughout. I also added a couple generous handfuls of kale and a few cloves of garlic. I mixed all of that up, and then I nestled the Boursin cheese right in the center. I took a few tablespoons of butter that I had cut up into small pads and worked those throughout it, and then I poured in half a cup of chicken broth throughout, and then drizzled it with some avocado oil, seasoned with salt and pepper, and then I used a zesty Italian seasoning blend that I love from Trader Joe's. This went into a 400-degree tanning bed for just about 30 minutes. Once it came out, I stirred it all together to get that creamy Boursin worked through, and then I sprinkled some Parmesan cheese on top. This is a super easy option to get dinner on the table. Let's head into that taste test to see what we thought. What up? We have a taste test for you guys.
Shocker to no.
Shocker to, well, I mean, I feel like we have been lacking on the taste test lately.
Because well, that's what happens when we don't do that many grocery hauls.
I know, that's the problem. And like, I haven't been going in and I haven't been seeing the things. It hasn't been whispering to me what I want, you know? But tonight we did finally, years later, make the viral Boursin pasta situation.
Why is this like?
Yeah, well, some people do it with feta cheese. Some people do it with Boursin. I may have done it one time with feta cheese. I don't know, but everybody does this. And I don't know, I was just feeling it. I was like, what could we make, you know?
This is like, what do they call it now? Like craze on social media?
Viral?
That's what
the word I already used. Yeah, he was listening real good, you guys. The thing is that, well, let me try it first, and then we'll discuss the thing is.
She's doing a shoulder shake.
Your thoughts first.
Nope.
No?
Nope. This is all you.
You want to see what direction I'm going in?
This is a you meal.
Okay.
This is...
Here's my thing. Most of the people, when they do the recipe, they do like a standard size tortellini, which is usually like 12 to 16 ounces. This one, because it was from BJ's, it's a wholesale size. Of course, Stella's going to drink right now. She could hydrate all day long, but this 7-minute section that I need, she's going to start drinking water. She's going to be slurping in the background. I apologize. Anyways, the package that I have is a 24-ounce package of tortellini. So I wasn't going to put in 2 Boursin cheeses, though. Okay, because I want to use the Boursin cheese for something else. Like, put it on crackers and then putting it in my face. That's kind of like...
I might be ignorant, but what is Boursin cheese?
It's kind of like that soft, you know, the like spreadable, it almost, like Alouette is another one. Where it's like that spreadable, like cream cheese style cheese.
Like the Laughing Cow?
Kind of, but it's like a big block.
Sure.
We've had it at like my mom's before, and like usually have it with like vegetables, crackers. It's like a dip usually.
Gotcha.
But people figured out that if you put it in the center of pasta, toss it in the oven, it'll melt. And then you stir it in and it becomes almost like a really creamy Alfredo. However, I think my ratio was a little messed up. So if you were to make this, I would recommend going either don't be cheap like me and just toss in 2 Boursins, or reduce the amount of tortellini, depending on the size of your family and what works for you. However, I will say, I actually kind of am glad that I scrimped a little bit, because I feel like it didn't make it too heavy. I think it would have been too heavy if we had done 2, but that's like a personal thing. I think most normal people would have wanted more of the sauce. That was the most chaotic review. I am so sorry. Let me sum it up. I love the kale in it, and I was nervous because the kale was getting a little crispy, but it almost reminded me of like kale chips mixed in, and it kind of gave it a different vibe, so I appreciated it. There's tomatoes in there, John. They like melted down to nothing, but I know they contributed somehow. They were a part of the team today. I don't know. I just feel like I was expecting a really heavy dish. It came out actually pretty light, and I think it's really enjoyable. What are your thoughts on it before I score?
That is like, if you like Alfredo, that is a U. I could use more sauce.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like you want marinara on it? Or do you mean you want more Boursin sauce?
I want more, just like more
Any sauce.
I feel like the outside, because of the tortellini, I feel like it's a little dry.
Yeah, like it got crispy on the edges.
Yeah.
So I think this is Kate's fault, okay? Let's not blame the viral sensation. I can see why people go crazy for it. I just needed to adjust my ratios.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm going, I think like an 8, I would say.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd say an 8.
I'm going to go with a 7 just because I don't like Alfredo, but I feel like if you do... I mean, I like Alfredo, but it's not like my number one.
Right.
Actually, I take that back. I'm going to go 7.5.
7.5.
Because...
He talked himself up, you guys.
Yes, because as I'm thinking about it, it's like, it's good. If there was more of that sauce, I feel like it would be even better.
Yeah.
But that tortellini is really good. And
that tortellini is really good. That's better than the Sam's Club one.
That was Sam's Club.
No, this one is BJ's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then yes, that one is...
Because I remember the
better.
Sam's Club one was, we cooked it correctly. And that one was dry, correctly cooked.
Yeah, agreed.
This one, I think that I agree. I didn't put enough sauce, so it's got a little crispy on the edges. But this one is still superior. And I think similar to Costco.
Yeah.
And Costco's tortellini is really good. Or it actually, the package says tortelloni. I've always called it tortellini. So what is it actually called? Can someone who's more educated and civilized than us sound off down below?
What do they call it in Italy?
Yeah, that's where it matters.
Watching this saying, what are these people
They
doing?
probably don't even have it in Italy. This is probably Americans going off the rails again, shoving cheese and stuff.
I would like to add that I think the kale gives it an extra bit of texture.
Like in a good way.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little extra something where it's not just like plain tortellini with sauce.
And what I think that is cool about this is I had kale on hand and I had cherry tomatoes on hand. But if you had, say, zucchini on hand or green beans on hand or whatever, like your favorite broccoli, like you could totally customize this to whatever's in your fridge. You don't have to stress out about following it to a T. Why I think it's worth making is that it was really simple, gonna be very minimal on cleanup because it's all done in one dish. And you guys know how I feel about that. It was all done in that one baking dish, John.
Oh, wait, you didn't have to cook the pasta
No,
first and then?
no. You cook it all in that one dish. Yeah, that's correct.
Wow.
That's correct.
I know we don't do this, but I want to give it like just a little bit extra, like a 7.7, just because.
Oh, now he can do that. He told me I wasn't allowed to quarter it up. Now he's quartering it up.
No, we're not doing that. I'm just joking.
Corporate, can you get control of your man, please?
7.5. Stick with
7.5 for him. 8 for me. We're sending that feedback over to corporate. Thank you so much for being here and spending some time with us. I hope we delivered whatever you needed when you clicked on that thumbnail. Before you run away, what are they going to do, John? You got to subscribe. Because you don't know. You might not come back around here, okay? We want to be friends, so subscribe. Have a magical day. Bye-bye.